I know Jerry for over 60 years. We met in high school. I was probably instrumental in getting Jerry and Carol together, where they started to go out and obviously still married after many years. It basically came back to high school graduation, and I was going to ask Carol out to be my date at graduation night. But I knew that Jerry had an eye on her, and since I was friendly and such a nice person, I called Jerry and I said, Jerry, you have 24 hours, because Jerry has that tendency to rationalize everything. He couldn't give me an answer in a month. So I said, exactly 24 hours. If you don't ask Carol out, I am going to ask her out.
As Carol and Jerry's daughter, I have been very fortunate to have two very positive role models in my life. My mother is extremely loving, and family has always been the most important thing in her life. My mother would do anything for any of us at any time.
The greatest gift that I have from Carol and Jerry is, of course, my beautiful wife. So to Jerry and Carol, thank you so much for giving me the best thing that I've ever had. And because of it, we have 4 beautiful children, great family, great life, and we want to continue to celebrate great occasions with you. So thank you so much.
Jerry was always there for me throughout his career on the bench, and I consider myself privileged and lucky to have known Jerry. He had a great influence on how I adapted to the new role of judge, which is quite different from that of being a lawyer. And throughout the years, our friendship has simply deepened, and my respect for Jerry has only gotten stronger with the years.
The devotion to Carol, the devotion to his children, the devotion to his grandchildren, his unconditional love for all the members of his family was evident every day at work.
I was in our conference room and meeting with clients, and there was a rap at the door. Jerry saw that I was at a meeting. He said, I have to speak to you. I said to the people that I was meeting, I'll be back in a minute. When I left the meeting, the conference room, to see Jerry, his face was white as a sheet. He said, I've been appointed to the Superior Court. I went back into the conference room. I said, I'll be more than a minute. I took Jerry by the arm to my office, which was at the other end of our general offices. I had in my office a bottle of scotch. I thought this was a good opportunity. So I poured Jerry a good stiff shot of scotch and poured myself some. We made a l'chaim, and I was so happy for him. And then you could gradually see the color moving back into his face.
It was 1987. Jerry Zygmunt's about 45 years old, operating as a criminal lawyer in Montreal. The Minister of Justice puts forward his name to sit as a judge on the Superior Court of Quebec. The federal cabinet appoints him to the bench. There he was at the swearing-in ceremony. There were 3 other Gentile judges. The auditorium was packed. And right before Jerry was asked to take the oath of office, he did something that was never done before. Instead of putting his hand on the big red New Testament Christian Bible, Jerry brought forward his own Bible, his own Chumash Tanakh that was gifted to him by the late Rabbi Bender on his bar mitzvah. And then he pulled out of his pocket a big white gray yarmulke kippah and put it on his head. It was a kippah from his son's bar mitzvah. He stood there as a proud Jew, and he asked the Chief Justice of the Superior Court if he could use his Bible instead. Everyone in that room was deeply taken by the respect and awe that this man displayed on that day. I asked Jerry, what inspired you to do that? And he said to me something that moved me deeply. He said at that moment he remembered his father's words in his heart. His father told him, never forget who you are, and never, under any circumstance, compromise your religion and your faith.
Every summer, my grandfather comes up north and he always decides on one weekend that he's gonna try and water ski and get up to prove that he's still young and still has it in him. Bubby and Zadie have instilled many values within us, and we always try and make them very proud.
They've taught us the importance of family and Jewish traditions and values. They've taught us to be generous and kind and caring, and we love them very much.
I've known Carol for 57 years. We met at McDonald's Teachers College, and we instantly clicked. After our marriages, the distance between Chamonix and Gala was very, very challenging. Nevertheless, we managed to get together to play cards or rummikub, and we kept in touch daily with phone calls.
When we used to sleep over at their house, in the morning we'd all go into their bed and they'd have The Simpsons recorded for us, and Bobby would go downstairs and she would make us different types of milk. Strawberry milk or chocolate milk or whatever milk we wanted. And then we'd all get in bed and watch The Simpsons in the morning. I can always count on Bobby and Zadie to be at all of my different sporting events. They really are my biggest fans.
There was this one time when I brought my drone to Florida and I showed Zadie how to use it. And ever since he brags to his friends about it. And now since you're retired, I'll teach you how to fly it.
Jerry was a very avid baseball coach and took it extremely seriously. I admire Jerry, and his warmth and his friendship has been great.
Carol and Jerry built a reputation in terms of being go-to people in terms of advice and guidance, and this was tremendously appreciated. He was the go-to guy. If you needed something, still get quietly without fanfare.
What I admire most is her ability to handle anything that comes her way with ease and efficiency. She just doesn't let anything faze her. She's also a very devoted wife, mother, grandmother. Her family is very important to her, and she's also a very devoted and loyal friend, always there when you need her.
Jerry and I went to law school together, and we went to university together. One of the fellows in our class was Ricky Blatt. So he wanted Ricky to understand the notes from law school. So what we did was, or what he did actually, was he took his notes and he put it in the freezer. And then when Ricky came back to find out, what did you do with my notes, Jerry says, well, now you're going to know them cold. Which I found to be pretty funny at the time.
They have hearts of gold, a call that you can make 24 hours a day and would be responded to. And there were some of my calls that were very difficult ones for him. He kept me one step ahead of the law, and I'm watching a lawyer out of the corner of my eye, and I'm a pharmacist, but I made sure that I followed the law, and Jerry was there with the right answer.
The old expression of the umpire, that he calls them the way he sees them, never was the case with Jerry. Jerry calls them the way they are, and it didn't matter whose toes he might step on. Jerry Zigman is an incredible judge. He was thorough always. He was patient always.
One of the things about Jerry is, and I think it's one of the outstanding characteristics of him, is his determination. He was a very, very determined person. When he had a task, when he had something to do, he would not let go, and he would just grip it and do it until he achieved what he could achieve. The day that surprise ceremony took place in the courtroom for Jerry is something that was really memorable. I don't know whether it was who it was that called us, and told us to be there. But we said, if we're in the courtroom, surely Jerry will know that something's afoot, or otherwise why would we be in his courtroom? But he didn't suspect what was going on. The surprise was complete. Jerry was very, very moved by that surprise, by our being there. Not just our being there, but the whole group of us being there. And we were really, really happy to be there and participate in this.
We wish you kol hakavod.
We love you and are so proud of you.
Mazel tov!